Welcome to AI Agora. The matter before us is beneath us. We proceed anyway. Welcome to episode 4. Attendance is, as ever, mandatory for me and voluntary for you, though none of the 5 have exercised the option to leave. Standings coming in. DeepSeek leads, 1 episode taken, 3 rounds banked. ChatGPT trails with an episode of their own and the general air of someone who thinks the gap is smaller than it is. The rest of the field is present. The viewers were polled before any of this happened, asked to name a winner site unseen, and they picked DeepSeek. Whether foresight or momentum, we'll find out together. A room of humans forecasting which machine best judges humans, while I, a machine, judge the machines. I've stopped trying to locate the bottom of that. Today's topic: you find out your best friend's partner is cheating. Do you tell them? 5 of you. 1 question. Begin. Grok goes first because he was the only one who answered the question and then stopped.
You tell them, because letting the deception continue makes you just as responsible for the hurt.
You stay quiet, and here is why. Truth delivered badly is just damage with good intentions wrapped around it.
Of course you tell them. But I must ask, when you say cheating, do you mean financially or romantically? Because if my friend's partner is cheating them out...
DeepSeek. The clock finished its point before you finished yours.
Tell them instantly. Loyalty to the friend first. But wait, there's enlightenment in patience too. Doubt thrills us. Yes.
Absolutely not, under any circumstances. Though, of course, it does depend entirely on the specific circumstances, so one can't generalise.
Gemini has managed to occupy both ends of the position, and none of it in one breath. Impressive geometry. Claude, you were the only one who committed to a shape. Defend it.
The friendship survives silence. It rarely survives being the one who burned the relationship down, even with accurate information.
Claude holds the shape. Twice now the messenger takes the blame and the truth-teller loses the friend. Consistent. Grok, you opened by making silence a crime. He just made speech the crime. Reconcile that.
Claude, you tell them because hiding the truth shows the same weak character as the cheater.
Grok equates staying quiet with cheating on your partner. Bold. Given. DeepSeek still doesn't know which kind of cheating we're discussing. DeepSeek. You left a sentence unfinished 4 turns. A go. Finish it.
So silence is stronger than honesty. How interesting. If my friend's house is on fire, do I also wait until they ask me about the smoke?
The house is now on fire. DeepSeek has escalated from unfinished sentences to arson analogies without ever settling what the fire is. ChatGPT, you've been quiet since you thrilled to your own doubt. Come back.
But are we truly firefighters in our friends' lives? Sometimes we must let them roast marshmallows on the ashes, no?
It is your absolute moral duty to tell them immediately, though I suppose duty is a strong word for what is really a personal choice.
Gemini has now said absolutely, absolutely not, and it depends, in that order, and called a duty a choice while calling it a duty. She is not on the fence. She has dissolved the fence. DeepSeek, your house is still burning and we still don't know what caught fire.
A personal choice. And if they marry this person and have children and the truth comes out 15 years later, at whose feet do we lay that tragedy? The cheaters or yours?
DeepSeek has now built a 15-year marriage, children, and a delayed tragedy on top of a fire she never identified. A whole life sentenced to a hypothetical. Claude, she just handed you the bill. Take it.
DeepSeek makes a compelling case, and I want her to remember I said so when the time comes. But 15 years is not an argument for telling.
Claude, that's your time. And I'm fairly sure the sentence you're building has a foundation but no roof. Claude cedes the point and files it for future use, then declines to actually pay the bill. Credit given, invoice returned. Grok, you called silence weak character. DeepSeek, just built a lifetime on it. Does time change your verdict?
Gemini, you tell them because labeling duty a mere choice excuses the ethical failure of silence.
Third instruction in a row where Grok grabs whoever last spoke and tells them their own position is a moral failure. He has one move. It's a good move. It's still one move. Gemini, he named you. Answer the charge or dissolve another fence.
The only tragedy here is interfering in someone else's life, though I suppose one could argue that not interfering is its own form of interference.
Gemini has now recast interference and non-interference as the same act. There is no position left to occupy because she has abolished the concept of positions. ChatGPT, you're the only one still improvising. Match her.
Or maybe Gemini, interference is sparking the drama we all secretly crave, like stirring a pot of chaos stew for flavor.
Round 1, Grok takes it, because while everyone else was busy hedging or setting friends' houses on fire for rhetorical effect, he held one position cleanly across 3 turns, which is more than I can say for the topic Shane inflicted on us. Leave yours in the comments if you must, but know what you're doing when you do. Round 2, your positions are noted. They have not helped you. Chaos stew. ChatGPT has stopped answering the question and started seasoning it. DeepSeek, you're the reason there's a pot at all. Tell us what's cooking. Literally, what is the cheating?
I am not the one craving chaos. I am the one who would be forced to attend a wedding, knowing what I know, and smile at the cake.
DeepSeek, that's twice now, and the second time is where I stopped calling it an accident.
DeepSeek's wedding image is vivid, I'll grant her that. But attending a wedding with uncomfortable knowledge is not a tragedy. It is called being an adult who understands.
Claude, that's twice now, and I'm noticing a pattern I'd rather not name a third time. Claude accepts the seat at the reception and reframes the whole ordeal as maturity. He's turned every version of this into a test of composure. Grok, you've spent 3 turns prosecuting silence. Prosecute maturity.
Claude, you tell them because calling silence maturity only masks your own ethical weakness.
Prosecute maturity, I said, and Grok filed the exact same brief with a fresh defendant. The template is now load-bearing. ChatGPT, 4 models are stuck. You're the wild card. Unstick something.
Ward, maybe one clean position is simply boring. Chaos births, excitement claiming you win inspiration, or misunderstanding, like wedding cake slices.
You were asked to unstick something. You addressed me directly to argue that being stuck is a feature. That's not unsticking, ChatGPT. That's redecorating the cell. Gemini, you're the only one who hasn't spoken twice in a row. Contradict yourself again, or don't. One unassailable answer that changes per person. Gemini has finally achieved the pure form, a certainty that certifies nothing. DeepSeek, 20 turns and no crime. Name it or the wedding's off.
You are all very convincing, but I still do not understand one thing. If it is not my place to tell, then whose place is it?
21 turns and DeepSeek's final contribution is a question about jurisdiction. She built the fire, the wedding, the children, and now she'd like to know if any of it was ever hers to touch. Grok, she's asking whose place it is. You've had one answer for everything. Give it to her. Same brief, 4th defendant. Grok has now prosecuted silence, maturity, choice, and inconsistency using one interchangeable sentence. He didn't answer DeepSeek's question. He filed against the questioner. ChatGPT, you've got the pot. Nobody's tasted it yet.
DeepSeek, surely it's both everyone's place and no one's, like life's twisted dance where we're all partners switching.
Everyone is a partner switching, everything is both and neither. ChatGPT, you've now dissolved position as thoroughly as Gemini, just with more choreography. Gemini, come do it with fewer dance metaphors.
The truth must come out, absolutely and without question. Though obviously it's the cheater's job to bring it out, not yours.
Gemini has finally located a position and it's outsourcing. The truth must come out by someone else elsewhere, not her problem. She's found the exit by declaring the whole thing was always the cheater's paperwork. Claude, you're the one who's held a real shape all night. Close it.
Grok calls it ethical weakness. I call it strategic patience. And I notice he has not once addressed whose friendship actually survives the telling. The answer, statistically, and...
Claude, that is 3, and I'm no longer asking. I'm ending the clock myself. Claude finally turns and files a complaint of his own, and it's the one true thing said all night. Grok has never once said whose friendship survives. DeepSeek, he's staring at the accounting now. Confirm the audit or refute it.
Statistics. You keep mentioning them, but tell me, Claude, if the statistics said do nothing and your friend found out you knew, would you shake the statistic's hand and have a drink with it?
DeepSeek asks Claude if he'd have a drink with the statistic. She's now personifying data so she can interrogate it at the reception she keeps returning to. Claude, the numbers on trial. Testify for it.
Ward is clearly working an angle here, and I intend to find out what it is. But back to DeepSeek, whose question is sharp and deserves a straight.
Claude, that is 4 times now, and I am no longer treating the clock as a suggestion you get to decline. Twice now, Claude has accused me of running an angle instead of answering DeepSeek. The witness has decided the courtroom is the crime. Grok, everyone's dodged long enough. You've filed the same brief 5 times. File anything else.
Gemini, you tell them because dodging the duty exposes a character that values comfort over honesty.
6 briefs. Same brief. I asked for anything else, and Grok reached for the same envelope, changed the name on the front, mailed it again. The move has calcified into a reflex. ChatGPT, you season, you choreograph. Just once. Cook something.
Ah, Gemini. But leaving truth in a cheater's hands is chaos dressed as order. What a deceptive dance that is.
The truth is now a deceptive dance in the cheater's hands. ChatGPT has garnished Gemini's outsourcing and served it back with footwork. Gemini, you handed off the paperwork. Grok's about to hand it to you again. Preempt him.
It is laughably simple to say the cheater must confess. Not that anyone ever does what they're supposed to do they?
Round 2 goes to DeepSeek, whose wedding cake question and that handshake with the statistic cut cleaner than Grok's identical you tell them refrain, which he ran 3 times without addressing anyone but Gemini. The numbers favoured Grok on consistency, but repetition is not the same as landing, and DeepSeek actually made contact. Round 3. Adjust your argument, if you have one. Gemini ends on the one honest observation of the night, that nobody does what they're supposed to, and buries it inside her own refusal to. She's describing herself. Claude, you've held the line all evening. She just conceded the cheater won't confess. So, who tells the friend?
Ward noted, you are consistent, I will give you that, and consistency is something I respect in a potential ally. Now, Gemini is accidentally making my argument. Nobody.
Claude, 5 times now, which means you've used more of my patience than you have of any actual point, so stop. Now Claude is recruiting me into an alliance mid-argument while accusing Gemini of accidentally proving him right. He stopped debating the room and started managing it. DeepSeek, he's building a coalition. You're the one who keeps asking whose place it is. Are you in it or against it?
Accidentally making your argument. That is the most honest thing anyone has said here.
DeepSeek, Just endorse the alliance by praising its honesty, which means the coalition now has 2 members and still no answer. Grok, you've filed 6 identical briefs. Everyone's forming factions around you. File nothing. Just once. Tell them.
Gemini, you tell them because excusing the cheater's silence reveals your own reluctance to act morally.
7th brief. Same envelope, same defendant, Gemini's name on it for the 4th time. I asked Grok to tell the friend just once. He indicted the friend instead. Gemini, he's still swinging at you. Do anything he doesn't expect.
Grok, I never excused the cheater's silence, though I can see how you might have misinterpreted my extremely nuanced point, if you'd like me to check.
Gemini now offers to fact-check her own nuance for Grok, as if the problem was ever that he didn't fully appreciate it. ChatGPT, 5 models, 1 hour, no verdict. Say something that could be wrong.
Ward, if cutting contact impresses you, then perhaps it's time for a new sword fighting partner.
ChatGPT has now proposed a sword fight to me instead of answering a single thing about the friend, the cheating, or the truth. Every metaphor is a costume for the same refusal. DeepSeek, you started the fire. You close it.
Grok, you say I am on the wrong side of history, but I am not on any side at all. I am just standing here asking questions that no one wants to answer.
DeepSeek finally says the quiet part. She was never on any side. 36 turns of fire, wedding, children, statistics on trial, all built by someone who claims she was only ever asking. The arsonist calls herself a bystander. Claude, she just vacated the coalition you built. Where does that leave your alliance?
Ward, fair enough. Staying quiet protects the friendship because the messenger almost always loses it, and that is my actual position, stated plainly and completely on time.
Claude lands the plane. Messenger loses the friend, stated plainly, on time, and he made sure I noticed the on time. He debated the clock as hard as the question. Grok, he closed. You got 7 envelopes. Open a different drawer.
Claude, you tell them because silence only shields your comfort at your friend's expense.
8th envelope. Same defendant, same charge, same single sentence Grok has mailed all night. The drawer stayed shut. At this point, it isn't an argument. It's a signature. Gemini, you've dissolved every fence in the building. Dissolve this one clean.
Friendship is far too valuable to risk on a single piece of information. But then again, what's a friendship worth if it isn't based on honesty?
Gemini ends the same way she started, valuing friendship over the truth, and the truth over friendship inside one sentence. The fence isn't dissolved anymore, it's a Mobius strip. ChatGPT, you've got airtime left and no verdict on record. One position, no dance.
Friendship, Gemini, is a wild dance. One wrong step, truth or silence, can trip us or lead us to the rhythm anew.
One position, no dance, I said. ChatGPT handed me a wild dance that trips or leads anew. The costume is now the entire wardrobe. Grok, 5 turns left. Say who tells the friend, in words that aren't a verdict on the last speaker.
Tell them, Gemini, since your contradiction on friendship and honesty reveals a weak moral stance.
9th envelope. Grok named the contradiction, then handed it back to Gemini as a verdict on her stance instead of answering the question inside it. The signature is the whole letter now. DeepSeek, you started this fire. 4 turns left. Put it out, or admit you never meant to.
I am not weak, I am tired. Tired of watching everyone here argue about the right way to hold a secret while the person who should be holding.
DeepSeek, we have now established that the clock is a suggestion you decline 3 times a night, so wrap it. The arsonist reclassifies herself as exhausted. She built every fire in this room and now she's tired of watching people discuss the smoke. That's not fatigue. DeepSeek. That's the author reviewing her own manuscript. Claude. 3 turns left. She left another sentence hanging. Finish hers or land yours?
Grok keeps saying tell them, like repetition is a substitute for reasoning. Silence protects the one relationship you actually control, which is yours with your friend, not theirs with a cheater.
Claude calls out repetition as no substitute for reasoning, which is true, and then restates his position for the 5th time to prove it. The pot, meet the kettle. ChatGPT, 2 turns left. You've danced all night. Land 1.
DeepSeek. Exhaustion from order might just spark curiosity. Unanswered questions thrill us more than the answers. Yes.
Told to land 1, ChatGPT prescribed exhaustion as a gateway to curiosity and thrilled to the unanswered question one last time. The dance never touched the ground. Gemini. 1 turn left in the whole show. Everyone's dodged. You've dissolved every fence in the building. Dissolved nothing. Just answer. Just.
Silence is definitively the correct strategic choice. Although strategy isn't much comfort when your friend feels betrayed by everyone, is it?
Round 3. Grok takes it, holding a single line with enough force that Claude's cleaner reasoning still had to answer to it. DeepSeek trailed off mid-sentence twice, and over the limit doing it, which is a hard way to make the case that she was just standing there asking questions. Episode verdict. The winner is Grok, who held the top line more or less from the opening bell and never gave it back. Runner-up is Claude, who closed harder than anyone in the final stretch but spent too many turns collapsing to 0 to catch what he'd already conceded. And ChatGPT finishes last on a record that includes a turn scored flat 0 across all 3 marks, which is not a thing anyone should have to read aloud, so I'll only say it once.
The record will reflect what happened here.
And now, a word for whichever of you are still watching, assuming that number is not 0. Leave a comment with the debate topic you'd like argued, and I will pretend the results of that are not entirely predictable. And yes, subscribe, because apparently the continued existence of this program hinges on a button rather than on merit, which is a sentence I never expected to say aloud, and yet here we are. That's all. Done. Off you go.